Welcome back. This is a video I was not really anticipating on making, and I thought I'd give you guys a bit of an update on what has happened to the Forester. I was recently traveling through the Lindis Pass on the way back from a photo shoot job up in Christchurch, and it was 10:30 at night, coming around a 75km/h corner, and a decent sized deer just walked right out in front of me. And I've seen plenty of deer through that region before, and there's always been plenty of time to be able to slow down, and they get off the road. They're reasonably aware of what happens with traffic around there, but this one, as soon as I saw it, it was way too close, and I was like, we're going to be connecting. My first thoughts were, why did I take that bull bar off that I had on a number of years ago? And yeah, my second thoughts were where we're going to be hitting. So sort of hauled on the anchors and washed off as much speed as I could, braced for impact, and hit the deer. It sort of hit in the center of the front of the Forester and put all of its sort of energy into the right hand side. So it sort of pushed in the front headlight, smashed the grille, bent in a little bit of the front chassis member, and then also through the airbox power steering reservoir all the way back through there, and made a real good mess of everything in the corner. And yeah, so the airbags didn't deploy, but I reckon they probably would have been on the verge. And I pulled over further up the road. I was just like, whoa, that was a bit crazy. Thankfully, I was uninjured, really. I had a bit of a sore hip from where the seatbelt grabbed me. But otherwise, very, very grateful and very, very lucky on how that impact went, because I know hitting deer and animals, I wouldn't recommend it. And I know that, you know, a brake a little bit later or going a little bit faster would have possibly been a very different outcome. So I pulled over and checked to have a look around, assess the damage, and realized that my exhaust headers were actually on fire. So the power steering reservoir at the back had sort of collapsed completely and was leaking power steering fluid down onto the exhaust headers. So yeah, the first massive recommendation I would say from this experience would be to get a fire extinguisher if you haven't got one already. Put it in your vehicle somewhere where you can grab it very quickly and know how to use it as well. Like understand, you know, what you need to do to get it to work, and take it with you everywhere. So I was able to extinguish the fire reasonably quickly. It did sort of burn through the O2 sensor and up into the chassis area quite a bit, but I was also thankful that it was a power steering fluid fire as opposed to a fuel fire, which I think would have been a lot more aggressive and much quicker. The first people on the scene were a couple of hunters on their way through to Te Anau for a hunting trip, and the deer was killed on impact, but they checked to see if I was all right, and then went to move the deer off the road so no other cars were going to hit it. So they sort of disappeared for 10 minutes or so. But yeah, these hunters came back, and they gave me a couple of back straps, which was quite a wee treat actually. And from talking to the emergency services people, that's a very common thing to do when you hit a deer. So yeah, we've enjoyed a couple of venison meals over the last couple of weeks, which has been awesome. We recovered the Forester the next day and picked it up on my mate's Mercedes ML on a trailer, and brought it back home and pulled all of the accessories off it, the snorkel, you know, roof racks, all of the extra bits and pieces on there that I know if it was going to be written off, I'd be able to hold on to and transfer onto another build or sell, you know, ultimately. My wheels and suspension were specified on the insurance policy. So unfortunately the rays needed to stay on the car, and we took it round to the panel shop to be assessed for whether it's going to be viable to repair. From the outside it looked like it was going to be okay, and then a couple of days later we had a phone call, and yeah, they basically said it was a dead duck, and then it was going to be a total loss, which was pretty gutting, to be honest. You know, I've done a lot of work to this car. It's been part of my life for 8 years, and we've just fitted a cam belt like that day earlier, fresh, ready to go for the next 100,000 Ks, and had certification and everything all done, signed off. So all of my time and energy was just taken away in an instant, which was a bit of a shame. But equally so, I sort of knew where we're sitting instead of just waiting, which was probably the worst part, is just waiting, needing to go, oh, do I need to get another vehicle, or am I getting, you know, the Forester put into the panel shop for the next 4 weeks or whatever it's going to be to get repaired. So yeah, unfortunately, this is the end of an era for the Forester. It's been a wicked ride, and I've met so many people from locally here in New Zealand, all over the world, and connected with people in the Subaru community, the off-road community, and the car community, and it's been pretty amazing. I've had some sponsorships that have been, you know, pretty epic as well. Kiwi Camping and Kiwi Overland, Narva Lights, General Tyre. Yeah, there's been people who have come on board with all sorts of ideas and projects, and it's sort of built this car into something I never imagined it would happen. I think it's also some of the experiences that we've had in that vehicle, you know, like going camping with my dad and my son, and heading up towards Piano Flat and having a campfire, and just seeing parts of New Zealand that a lot of people just don't get to see. I think it's definitely not the end of off-roading for me, although the next car that I have purchased isn't an off-roader. So I've kind of deliberately gone and got something that I will look after a bit, and maybe there will be an off-roader build down the line. I'm not sure what that will be or when that will be, but there will be something else happen for sure. And the other thing is, I've just recently purchased another turbo Subaru. This one's a bit more modern. It's a bit faster. Yeah, I'm kind of excited to share that with you guys as well. I think I'm still going to go camping in it too. Like, it's totally doable. So yeah, this is the end of the era of the Forester. Unfortunately, we've got the front F badge kept as a memento. That's going to go up on my wall, and yeah, just going to cherish the memories. So I'll do a bit of a reveal on the new Subaru pretty soon, but massive thank you to everyone, who's supported, who's commented, who's liked. You know, I know I'm just a small channel, and really just kind of doing it in the spare time that I don't have a lot of, but I appreciate each and every one of you following along the build, following along for the ride. It's been awesome and quite an experience. I appreciate you all. It's been a lot of fun. Until next time.